Reviewing all Armaf private key fragrances in my collection. If I'm not mistaken, there are 5 fragrances in this line, but I have just 4 of them. So I want to start by Armaf Club de Nuit private key, To My Love. It is a very floral and happy fragrance. Opens up like fruity, peachy. You're gonna get a ton of pear also at the beginning of the fragrance, but at the dry down goes to more woody and candy flossy direction. I would say it is like Herba Pura by Zerjaf at the opening, and at the dry down goes to Parfums de Mali, Colognes direction. What I can see in Armaf's private key line fragrances is they are inspired fragrances definitely, but they are not 100% clone. They have Armaf's take. They smell like mixture of few fragrances. For example, here definitely I get Herba Pura at the beginning like 60%, and at the dry down goes to that earthy, candy flossy and synthetic spicy dry down of Colognes by Parfums de Mali, or direction of Colognes by Parfums de Mali. They are all highly concentrated, like extrait de parfum, means 40 to 50% oil concentration. Sticks to my skin like 12 hours on clothing, 1 week, without exaggeration. Projection is with this one is good for first 2 hours, not loud, but longevity is crazy, lasts like 10-12 hours plus solid, and I would prefer it for all season round except summer. Let's continue by a fruit bomb private key, To My Life. So to be honest, this is one of the most fruity fragrances I've ever smelled. It is a fruit cocktail in a bottle, and at the same time complex. It is not like floor cleaner type of fruity citrusy fragrance. It has a huge weight to it, I have to say. It has a very complex base. So what I get here is, man, ton of citruses. It is lemony, orangey, very juicy, very fresh, refreshing and sour. But also I can get some sort of melonish vibe at the background. Here we have also melon plus citruses. Oh my goodness, it is very delicious. I want to apply it on my skin. And I have smelled it a few times and applied it. And at the dry down gets like more woody and a bit of leather shines, and gives to fragrance a huge weight. Also amber gives some sort of dustiness, patchouli gives earthiness. So it is very complex at the opening and very complex at the dry down, and I like both sides, opening and dry down. So what I can get here is definitely Bulgari Tiger at the first like 30-40 minutes, and after that also some sort of Bleu de Chanel vibe starts shining. So for me this one is like mixture of Bleu de Chanel and Bulgari Tiger with added some really heavy weight to it. But compared to both of those fragrances, I have to say I prefer this one as it is more complex. I like that heavy weight of this fragrance, that amber, that leather, patchouli and woods gives to this fragrance a very great stance. It comes out of that ordinary and let's say floor cleaner type of citrusy fragrance. For example, I can get here melon, which is not available in the Bulgari Tiger, and I believe it added a good twist to this fragrance. So in terms of performance, I can get like solid 8-10 hours with this one. Sticks to my skin, it is oily and concentrated, and projection and sillage is good for first 2 hours. Let's continue by private key, To My Soul. Like the color of the bottle, it is about white florals. It is little bit feminine. All of these fragrances I believe are unisex, but this one leans a little bit more feminine. For me this one is all about citruses and floral notes, white floral notes. And ton of ambroxan, I have to say. At the opening I can get Paragon by Initio, but not exactly like that fragrance, but gives me that waves because of added spices, Middle Eastern notes and ton of ambroxan. But at the dry down has nothing to do with that fragrance. Gets more woody and very sticky type of fragrance. I can say easily 1 week on the clothing and 12 hours plus on the skin. I'm not that much fan of the opening as it is too floral to my taste, but at the dry down I have to say goes to a totally different direction. I cannot pick any other particular fragrances. Gets very unique, and I can say it is all about ambroxan, spicy and woody notes. I can get like 10 hours plus solid with this one. 2 hours great projection and sillage, and like the other fragrances in the line, lasts 1 week on the clothing. And my most favorite one from the line definitely is private key, To My Dreams. It is a very complex fragrance and also inspired, I have to say, but really done to perfection, I have said to this one. I have, yeah, here. Okay, it is sweet, it is woody, it is smoky, leathery, and very niche standing with some sort of designery opening, I have said to this one. Apple I can get. Yeah, few fragrances comes to my head immediately. It is like loud, sweet, like for example 1 Million Elixir by Paco Rabanne. Stronger with You, the regular version. That apple and dark notes a bit gives me Leighton vibe, and has some sort of black peppery, almost a smoky feel, like Amouage Interlude, but not as, let's say, daring. It is a very well balanced, appealing and daring fragrance at the same time, I have said to this one, and I really enjoy it. I have almost all Armaf fragrances in my collection, and for me this one is hands down best Armaf fragrance right now to my taste in my collection. And I can get like 10 12 hours plus longevity with this one, 2 hours of solid projection and sillage. It doesn't get as much as this one, Private Key to My Life compliments, but I like this one better. It is more about me, something in this one. It is better to my taste and leans way more masculine compared to other fragrances in this line, and as complex as the other ones. Take care, guys.